Here it is once again. Quick Fix Golf. Bobby Lopez here with all his buddies and Adam Ford. Oh, Adam's coming on now. Now the party's starting. The party's starting because we got Adam. Now this poor joker sent in. It's gonna wait. LostGolfBalls.com is good value. Balls hit once. All right, yeah, there you go. We'll look at that. LostGolfBalls.com. Anything's better than the. I'm looking here, looking at to see if somehow the guy's shown up or something been up. Now, you hear me talking all the time about offsides and the proper tilt at the top. I want you to see this. I want you to see this. And this kid is a good athlete. Wait a minute, that's the lesson itself. Hold on. Here he is. I want you to see this. This is a shame because he's such a, you can tell he's a good athlete. The kids play some sports. You talk about, this is a gross exaggeration. What happened? Now look at this. Because some jackass told them day one, keep your eye on the ball. Look at this. There's another one here. Hold on. I could show you this all day. All friggin' day. Now watch this. Here's another one. Here's another one. You ready? Wait till you see this. No, let me go a little further. Let me go a little further. Let me go a little further. Here we go. No, you son of a gun. I'm going to have to go here. Okay, he's still going to do it right here. Trust me, no matter how much I tried to get. You see how I put two sticks by his right foot? Look at this. Everybody wants to balance and set up on top of the freaking golf ball. Look at this over here. Now watch what he does. See? Once he comes here, hold on, I'm trying to make this thing stop. Here. Boom, boom. Now watch. There's only one place his head can go, and that's up. So he's going to go right past that red line. Watch. Up. See? He's got to jump out of his own way, which is going to have a look like he got kicked in the pants on the downline view. Look at this poor gentleman right here. And he went nuts trying to fix it. See? Look, I had him doing this. See? I had him trying to turn like that. Then I had him turning. Then I said, here, throw a ball. And look, if you throw a ball, look how you're going to be. When you're throwing a ball, here he goes, center field to home plate. Look at the tilt. It's natural because you're not thinking down like the balls. And he's got a nice throw motion. Look at that. He finishes right there. That's a golf swing. It's that simple. Now I had him doing this drill right here. Huh? See? To turn and get the elbow drill going. Here it is here. This is where you, well, this is the lesson. See, and I showed him here. Get out of here. I showed him Crenshaw. Where is, let me see. Still don't see a Steve Colton here. John Neubauer is all right. John, you see, you're there.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the matter, you? Might be Steve's there too. We don't realize it. I don't know. Steve, are you there? Here we go. Now watch. Look. Look at that. Now, I hope this kid joins right here because we could really help him. Look at that. How the heck are you going to hit a golf ball from there?
He's got Gumby's system in his legs big time.
Well, I mean, he's got to try and adapt to where he is somehow. Let me see. How do I move this? There we go. I mean, if you even look at Loverboy when he was in his prime, you'll see there. There. This is the line of scrimmage. He doesn't go offsides. You play golf here, behind the golf ball. You play golf behind the golf ball. See his head over here? His head's over here, right? you can see out of the corner of your left eye the ball, and if anything, try and look at the ball from there. You should feel like your spine is here and your head is here, and if it doesn't feel that bad, you're nowhere even close. I promise you. We could look at some other video here. Now here's a perfect example. Because he's trying to keep his head down, it's really not. It's moving forward, see? He's coming a little forward like this. Look at his hands. Look at his hands. See that? That's why he has to grip the club like that. That is so close, it's unreal, because if I took his hands and I went this way a little bit and squared them up so that they were one palm facing away from the target, the other palm facing the target. Let me move this out.
What a video conference.
It would look like
Video conference.
the face was closed like this.
Bobby Lopez.
Okay, who's that talking here? I'm going to come after you and make you run a lap. It's a joke. No sense of you.
Mute your mic if you're not talking.
Well, that was, here you go. That was him again too. See, look at this. This is what he looked like when he just got off the team bus. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Everything straight down on top of the golf ball. Now watch this. Here's a kid that's working at the driving range. Really good athlete. Used to be a baseball pitcher. Now look. Got no chance from there.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
I see Woods on the left there. Obviously, he's got a driver, and you're naturally set up and you're leaned, so your head is behind the golf ball quite a bit.
Right.
If you're talking about an 8-iron shot, do you intentionally set up with your head behind the ball no matter what club you're using, or is there any point in time when it's on top of the ball?
Okay, watch this. Here's Porter. Now, his head's not actually on top of the ball. It's a little bit behind it. He's got, let's say, at least a 9-iron, maybe more. Now, here's the cool part. Watch this. He's going to go back. It's going to come down, and his head goes backwards. Watch this. Look at the loft on that golf club now compared to what it was in a dress. Let's see who just showed up. I don't know who it is that doesn't show yet. See, look at the loft now compared to what's. Here is tip of the left shoulder to the ball at impact. Where's his head? Way over here with his eyes looking that way. And then watch his hands as they keep going. See? Look how he fights to keep the back of that left hand moving. I'll show you another guy that does that real good. They're probably not going to be able to come on tonight, but look over here's Sowers from the front. Watch the back of his left hand. See? Now he's slightly tilted this way. That's gone. He doesn't do that anymore. This is an old video. He doesn't do that anymore. Now look. Look at his wrists. Look at that. Look at the way his left wrist is bulged and he rotates over. That's a big secret to why he hits the ball as well as he does.
Would you say that's something that's reasonable for somebody in their 60s to accomplish with that sort of flexibility?
Forget flexibility. We're just talking about from there to there.
Bobby, I've been working hard since when the weather was good, trying to do what you taught me when I was there. The biggest problem I have with turning those hips out of the way is I'm coming over top of everything and just fighting, trying to figure out how not to do that.
Well, if you're going over the top at all, you want to right away jump into and not do it the way VJ's doing it. VJ stays outside the stick because he has a problem which he gets too shallow. You want that stick, instead of where he has it, a little more, a little more here, and you want to go outside the stick and then down inside the stick. And that drill is on the inside stick drill is in the member section. I think I've given it to you before.
Yeah, several times. And I'm having a hard time trying to do it. That's do you feel like your shoulder is dropping down toward your right knee?
No. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you. Here's yours truly. Watch. I go up. Now, I can't go down unless I go up first. So I lift it up, and now I'm going to let the club just fall out of the sky. I just let it fall. Come on, let it fall, Cuban. There you go. I let it fall. Boom, and over it goes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Yeah, I lost you for about 5 minutes. I lost my internet. I guess the fellow with the golf balls wasn't here tonight?
No, he hasn't shown up. I apologize. I mean, we exchanged emails, and he was very apologetic. And I said, well, let's give you another shot because I figure you guys would be so much interested. I was so interested. I wanted to really get some insight, not just on his ball, but the reason why there's all of a sudden all these little ball companies springing up. I've never seen that before. Maybe I'm blind to it, but I've never seen that before. And here he doesn't show up again the second time. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's you know.
Yeah.
Not good.
I mean, I was just watching when you were going to your backswing. You don't really like extend out too much. You don't want to go past, too far over. But it seems like the minute you bring the club back, you go right up with it. You don't extend out much and then go up.
Well, it might look like that to you, but no, yeah. I don't have to extend a lot.
Yeah.
So, but the only way I'm going to get, John, the only way I'm going to get this club down inside that stick is to try and keep my chest facing us as long as I can. If I turn my body, I'm never going to get it underneath that stick. I've got to stay still and let the arms just fall. So that's why I do it slowly. So you just let them fall independent of the body. Then the shoulders square up at the very last second. You look at Sergio, it's the same thing. Here's Sergio, I wish I was a bullfighter Garcia. And he goes up. See? His chest is still facing us. He drops it right out of the sky. So the problem is you might still be turning your body on the downswing and you have a hard time getting the club underneath the stick. You've got to get, that's the whole idea of the 2 o'clock drill. If here's the ball, here's you, right? You turn and you keep your eyes facing that way. Then you drop the club and swing, drop the club and swing, drop the club and swing, drop the club and swing. As long as your chest is facing this way, you'll get under the stick. Because look, here's the ball, here's your foot, here's the stick. So you go outside the stick like this, and then if your chest is facing 2 o'clock, then you'll go right inside the stick and go this way. Because that's the path right there. It's back, under, out, and over. Steve Colton, are you on here? No. Somebody got the TV on. There you go. I found out who it was. All right. Now, let me show you another thing. That's this poor guy. And you guys are going to want to take a lesson again. You're going to say, damn, Lopez is going to show me. Hold on here.
Oh, nice hat.
No. Here
You need to get some young girls in these videos.
You need to get a life. Yo, fart, you dirty old man. You want to see some young girls? What's the matter with you?
This is turning into an X-rated webinar.
No way.
You had me up there a second ago, Bobby.
You see how square he is here? Now watch. Look at this. Look at him trying to keep that head rock solid on top of the ball. That's what he looked like there. No, I got to go the other way. This is what he looked like when I got done with him. Look at the difference. And he really should have... Oh, Pat Robertson just arrived. We might have... listen in here. See, now, before... Here, he's got his head lined up on the ball. Now... So he still didn't move his head. But at least he had himself tilted a little more at address. Capiche?
Mm-hmm.
See, now, you see this surge right here? See this? Death. Can't do that. Even though we did a good job of getting out of it, but that's where you get in trouble right there. Hold on, let me see where else this is. Where's this other video? Oh, here he is. Hold on. See, here I was trying to get him to tilt some, but then look at his head. I kept trying to tell him, no, get your head even with your spine. Now watch. See? That's it. Right then I said, hey, there you go. Turn your head. Now the other way. The other way. Come on. Hey, come on. Look the other way. Right? See? But he still makes this surge, you see? And once he makes that surge right there, he's done. His lower body is so far ahead of the arms right now, he's got no chance.
I ask you a question about setup.
Sure.
Even this guy, you can see it. Look at his hands.
Right.
So that is what I'm told is the natural loft of the golf club. There's a school of thought out there at setup that your left arm, there should be a straight line down to the head of the club, which is effectively de-lofting the club, right? Forward pressing the club at setup. I see two schools of thought on that. Which one is it?
Well, look at Nicklaus right here. You'll see he has the straight line.
It's more prominent with an iron, though, because, you know, it's a shorter club.
Well, here's the bottom line as far as I'm concerned. Here's the line of scrimmage. You got to get your left shoulder even with the ball at the moment of impact. Period. Now, you can either do as Nicklaus does, which he doesn't move his head very much on the backswing, and then on the downswing, there he goes. See him back up? Now you look at somebody else that sort of copied him a little bit, and there's Bernhardt.
Yeah, big difference.
Now watch. See, he won't move his head a lot, but look, see where his eyes are facing? Now watch what his head does. He backs up. So you're either going to back up or you're going to have to go this way, which here's Rieger, and he's either going to go all the way over there, see, and set it there in the first place, or do you want to be on top of the ball and back up on the way down? I don't give a damn which way you do it. The bottom line is you're going to be tip of the left shoulder to the ball in a straight line at impact, or you're done. And it doesn't matter who you are. Look, here's Hogan. He's so old, he's dead. And right here, you're going to see even Hogan. Where's his head? It's on his right foot. Now watch. At the moment of impact, he's going to be tip of the left shoulder to the ball at impact. That's where they are.
Okay, and as far as setup goes, the guy on the left even, his hands are not in a straight line to his left shoulder.
Exactly.
He's got the net.
See, yeah. That's why I was trying to move him to, hold on, let me show you. There.
That's his setup?
That's his setup now. Compared to,
wow.
Hold on, let me move over here. Oh crap, here we go. There's his old setup. There's the setup once I get done messing with him. So now he's got his left shoulder lined up with the ball. He's got a little Y, not a capital Y. He's got some tilt. See? That's what you're looking for right there.
So he's not de-lofting the club. He's just set up a little differently.
Yeah, it is not de-lofting. They're not de-lofting the golf club. Well, you de-loft it through impact if you do anything at all. It's de-lofting as you go. That's why, look, when you look at Porter right here, Look at him. See, he's got this much loft here. And then look at him at impact. Look how much loft he's got. But he's not doing that by getting on top of it with his chest, which I hear all the time. Look where his head is. It's way back over here. Tip of the left shoulder to the ball. Pat Robertson. Where are you? I saw your name there. Hey, Pat, you have a microphone? Can you hear me? Hello. Let me see here. Let me see if you got any questions in the. You can get some balls for $1 a ball. That's golf. Was it lostgolfballs.com. Balls hit once and lost, so they are discounted pretty well. You can get them for $1 a ball. Not bad. Good idea, Brian. Thanks, man. So you guys can check that out. Golf balls, lostgolfballs.com. Is that it? Let me see here. Pat, do you have a microphone? Can't hear you. LostGolfBalls.com. There it is. Look at this. Pro V1. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Look at this. How much do they cost? Look at that. Don't buy the refinished.
Hey, Bobby, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, I just figured out how to unmute my microphone.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Who's this?
it's Pat.
Pat! Didn't sound like you on this. Hold on one minute. Is Gene there too, or what?
No, he's actually he left just a few minutes ago. He's having dinner with the CEO of Insperity tonight and the tournament director.
Well, everybody, I'll introduce you to Pat Robertson on here. Pat is in Texas. He's a financial guru, and he's Gene Sauer's, I guess, manager / confidant and finance guy and everything, and just one hell of a nice guy. He came over when they were playing in Richmond, and I had the pleasure of having him in the house staying with us, and he's just an all-around good guy. Pat, it's nice to have you with us, buddy.
Thanks, Bobby. I'm also a big fan of Bobby Lopez.
Too bad you're not abroad.
He's actually knocked 10 strokes off of my game, but I'm still shooting in I guess 85, 87 range, where I used to couldn't break 90, so that was a big improvement.
Yeah, but you've done a lot of it on your own too. I mean, I just give guide you. That's all, and you do it yourself. But thanks to Pat, has really been the real force to put together the chance for me, the opportunity for me to even help Gene out a little bit here and there, and a little tip here, a little tip there. Maybe one works, maybe one doesn't, whatever. But and we had fun giving Jimenez a hard time, and. I wish I could have been there when Jimenez won, but when he go ahead.
It's really been fun. I mean, I don't know who all's on the line, and I don't want to bore you with a really long story, but it was kind of interesting how it got started. I was actually out looking on the internet for some video of Gene, and I stumbled on to Bobby's weekly blog. And he had done a comparison between Gene's swing and Colin Montgomery's swing. And basically the gist of the video was how much better a golf swing that Gene had than Colin Montgomery, even though he didn't win the U.S. Senior Open in the playoff the first time. Bobby just, thought his swing was technically a whole lot better or more repeatable than Colin Montgomery's. And Colin Montgomery, but like anything else, and Bobby says it in the video, it's as much mental as it is physical. Correct, Bobby?
You got that right. I think this game's almost 90% mental. Once you know the angles, you know where you're supposed to be. Those shots are won or lost before you ever hit them. Especially at Gene's level, if he gets just the wrong thought in his mind, poof, And the problem is also when you set yourself up for perfection, you're going to be disappointed afterwards. You got to learn how to be able to take bad shots and say, hey, shake it off and move on.
Yeah, I think he's set to have a really good year, and there were a lot of when we first talked with Bobby was like analyzing his swing. I was like, well, he doesn't have a problem with his driver, he doesn't have a problem with his irons. His problem is putting, and the difference between Bernhard Langer and Gene Sowers in 2015 was Bernhard's average score was 67.3 and Gene's average score was 69.3. So it basically was 2 putts around, and it was the difference between winning $1 million on the senior tour and winning. Bernhard won that year $2.9 million. And I was like, holy crap, Gene. I mean, we're talking about a 3-day tournament, and we're talking 6 putts. And I was just, it was just mind-boggling to me. I'm thinking all the money that he's leaving on the table just because, his putter was 1 degree open or 1 degree closed. Anyway, so as a result of some of the analysis that Bobby did, it kind of led to Gene making the decision to go left-hand low, and he just is in so much of a better place because when he's stroking the ball, it's really just a matter of reading the putt now, because the ball's rolling end over end and it stays on line, and if he can get a good read on the greens, then it's going in the hole. Anyway.
And I just noticed something. Ask Gene. Gene's playing with this Titleist ball that has a black dot on the package. And my understanding was it's a 3-year-old Titleist ball, and it goes about 8 yards further. Now, I just noticed here, looking at these. If you look on you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can
see a Titleist V1 2016, the V1X, that. Then you see this Titleist Pro V1 2014. I wonder if that's not that ball.
Well, he told me just like this week he's gone with the new ball. It's just the Pro V, and it's not the Pro V1X. I guess it's that, but it's a 2017 ball.
Well, I heard they were bringing that older ball back. So that's what I heard they were going to do. So I guess they brought it back in 2017. But if it's the 2014 ball that it was, our guys can buy those, as you show that here,
holy crap,
quintuple A for $20.99, in good condition.
That's awesome.
I mean, that'll save them some bucks, and they're playing, because the 2017 ball, if those 2 balls are actually the same.
Yeah, Gene just bought from his Club Pro somehow. He bought, I think, 5 or 6 dozen golf balls for the driving range for himself at the Savannah Golf Club down in Savannah, where he's a member, because he said their range balls were so bad he couldn't hit them. And anyway, so he just bought, I don't know, he might have bought like 10 dozen or something, but he bought a bunch of balls yesterday.
Now,
you probably could have gotten a much better price and get a much better ball right here. That's incredible.
Why couldn't he just call the Titleist rep? Tell him to bring them over.
Yeah, well, he's, Bobby, he's kind of conservative. He doesn't like asking people for favors, so.
Well, what you guys have any questions? I mean, unfortunately, we don't have Gene on, but Pat is very close to Gene. I mean, they're 2 best friends. And do any of you guys have a question about the tour or what Gene does on tour or anything like that? Anybody?
I worked the LA Open as a volunteer back in, I think it was 1985. Would Gene have been there? Seems like I remember meeting him there.
he was on tour for 15 years. He actually, at one time, he was the youngest player on the PGA Tour at age 19, like prior to Tiger, coming on. I think Gene actually was 20. He was either 19 and a half or 20. And then Tiger, I guess, came on tour at what, 19, Bobby, or something?
I don't know.
Anyway, but
Yeah, 95, I think, was his first.
He's 2 years younger than me. He's turning 55 now, so we just have to figure out, basically.
Okay.
He spent 15 years on the PGA Tour and a couple of years on the web.com tour. I think it was called the Nike Tour then. And then he took a hiatus from golf. He didn't touch a golf club for about 7 or 8 years. And then he got diagnosed with this Steven Johnson syndrome, and he had a very severe illness that almost took his life. And while he was in the hospital, he started having all these thoughts about golf, and it was really the only thing that kept him from throwing in the towel. That disease has a 75% mortality rate, and he spent, I think it was 6 weeks in intensive care and 2 weeks in the so a total like 8 weeks in the hospital. The skin on his both arms and legs burnt from the inside out. He lost 15 layers of skin. Bobby's actually seen the pictures, and they're just horrific. The fact that he's even able to get out and swing a golf club is a miracle in itself. But to be able to go out and compete against, some of the best golfers in the world, and I mean, we've seen Bobby and I, follow every round, and I mean, there's days when he just smokes Bernhard. But Bernhard is a machine, Yeah.
So here you can see this picture right here. You see this guy right here? That's Pat. This is Gene. There you are, Pat. There's Gene right here. What it was is, well, the three of us got together down in Florida, thanks to Pat setting it all up, and we spent 2 days together at the golf course where Gene practices. These senior tour players, they all go to Florida around January and practice, and they gamble among each other and and work on their games, getting ready for the tour to start again. Usually around December 1st they go there. And the person holding the camera taking the picture is me, of course. See, and he's not as tilted. We worked on some of that there, tried to get some. See how he gets a little head in the hip? We got rid of that. But you look at his back of his left hand, and he knocks the snot out of it. For a guy that's not that big. How big you think he is, Pat? Maybe 5'8"?
Oh, he says he's 5'8", but I think he's about 5'6".
Let me see. There was one here. Right. There's where we got him at the right place at the top. See, this was the shot that I told him. I said, that's how I want your footwork to look. See? Right there. And we had a great time, and we went around to see all the boats that were at that pier and everything. So, any other questions?
You can see that.
Want to know? Huh?
In that video, you can see that fence at the end of the driving range. After about, I would say, about 10 or 15 minutes, was it, Bobby? He had Gene hitting the ball. I was like, Gene, can you hit that fence down there? And the next thing you know, man, he just laced like 3 drives in a row, perfectly straight, all the way off the end of the driving range.
He can smack it.
And he looked over at Bobby and says, I think we need to go play.
We had fun. So any other questions, anybody?
No.
No
Well,
questions.
hey, I appreciate you guys letting me chime in. I'm going to go back on mute and listen to the master.
Yeah.
Is that
I
okay?
have a question.
Go ahead.
how many weeks is Gene out there on the competitive schedule? How many weeks a year does he play?
You know, one of the things that guys don't really know about the senior tour, people don't know how competitive it really is. When Gene turned 50, he had won 3 PGA events, and depending on how many PGA events you win, they give you an allotment of tournaments. So Gene's allotment was 5 tournaments. And depending on how well he did in those 5 tournaments dictated whether he was allowed to play in any additional events. So his first tournament, I think, was out in Seattle, and he had a pretty good finish, but he was like in the top 30, I think. But in those first 5 tournaments, he had 2 second-place finishes, and it put him in the top 15. And because of that, he's been on tour, and he's had his card every single year. But, you know, a lot of these guys like Bob Tway and Brian Henninger and what's that guy's name? Steve Pate. Some of those guys, I mean, they're constantly on the bubble. And if they don't finish, I think it was for like 3 years, it was the top 30. You had to be in the top 30 to be exempt for the next year. And Gene one time finished 26, and I mean, he was sweating it because then it's a matter of you got to get a sponsor's exemption to get into a tournament. So like this week, I saw Blaine McAllister yesterday, and he's been struggling, and he's in on a sponsor's exemption. And I asked Gene, I was like, so if he plays well, he said, Pat, if he finishes in the top 10, then he gets to play next week, you know, or at the next event. So these guys will play every single event to keep their spot, because otherwise they could lose their card.
The senior tour is harder than the regular tour, quite frankly. It's harder to get in and harder to stay in. They
don't have sponsorship. There's a new crop of players coming in every year. They're battling the physical limitations. You know, everybody knows now about Gene's illness, but the first year he was on the senior tour, he had an inguinal hernia, and he couldn't even carry his luggage. You know, it was bad. And he came here in May, and he played with that hernia the whole season. And then as soon as the season was over in October, he went and had a hernia repair surgery. Then the second year he was on the senior tour, he had to have a knee surgery. And then Bobby and I, last year, he was having some problems with his neck. And Bobby suggested that he adjust the lie angle on his irons, and it wasn't but 4 weeks later he won the U.S. Senior Open. Do you know that, Bobby?
Well, that might have, you know, so I can have a little teensy-weensy piece of the trophy. You know, it's very minute. What I contribute is very minute compared. You know, he's the one hitting the ball, not anybody else. But notice his hands going through the ball, guys. I want you to see this. Look at this. Here, watch. Boom, watch. Boom. And I keep trying to get these guys to rotate their forearms over. Look how hard he rotates his forearms over. Look where that club head is pointing.
He thinks of it as like it's the only way to hit a golf ball, but, you know, I guess 98% of the rest of the world doesn't actually do that.
Baloney.
Right, Bobby?
Most of those guys on tour do this.
No, the professionals do, but the amateurs don't.
Right. I know. That's a hard thing, is trying to get them to turn it over. They're afraid they're going to hook it.
Yeah, and it's like, if you don't, you're never going to get the club head speed that you need if you don't turn it over, right?
All right, Pat, you are the man. There's not many like you, buddy.
Well, hey, how often do y'all do these? I want to start.
Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. I wish we could get Gene on.
I just want to, like, listen. Oh, you know, I was watching the video for a few minutes, all that stuff is, I've learned more watching Bobby analyze other people's swings. I've learned more about the golf swing than I ever learned, going and paying for a private lesson.
Well, I've got those 2 videos of Gene you sent over today, so I'll get on those later tonight and get them over.
Oh, that'd be great.
All right, pal.
And guys, it's good to meet y'all. Hopefully,
Nice to meet you, Pat.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
He'll be back. He'll be back to Richmond when Richmond comes to town. You got a place to stay.
Okay, man, sounds good.
You got it.
I think I'm going to go with him to the U.S. Open. He's playing in the U.S. Open in June.
Where's that at?
He told me it's like
It's at Salem Country Club,
Salem Country Club. Where's that?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go to that.
Anyway, so I'm thinking I'm going to make that trip. He said they are teeing it up from 7,700 yards.
Not on.
For the seniors?
It's going to shoot
Oh,
me.
no.
No, he's playing in the U.S. Open because he won the
U.S.
U.S. Senior Open.
Wow.
Oh,
So he gets a chance to go out there and play for the big bucks. But the challenge is it's it's 1,000 yards longer, right, Bobby?
Wow.
Salem is
They played yesterday from 6,600 yards. He's going to be playing from 7,700 yards.
Wow.
Anyway,
All right, man.
U.S.
Go ahead.
U.S. Open is in Erin Hills, isn't it? Wisconsin?
I think that's where it is.
yeah.
All right, well, that's a good too. That's just a little longer walk. All right. Now, Brendan, do you have a microphone on?
Hey, Bobby, it's me and my son Arrow. We just logged on.
Hey, everybody, I want to introduce you to Brendan DeVore, who is Be Better Golf, if you've seen his channel on YouTube. And he was just here in Williamsburg for a benefit for the VFW because his brother's a former Marine, and also his other brothers. Your other brother's a former Marine too, right? Or was he Navy?
No, both of them, former Marines, yeah.
Former Marines. Hoorah! And we did some filming on Monday. And Brendan, tell them about this round you had the next day after we worked out together.
Well, one thing what Bobby was showing with me, funny you talking about Gene's neck, because one thing with me is I was tipping my neck to the left right before I did my takeaway, and that got me all tilted funny. Anyway, so Bobby saw that, and it was like a eureka moment for him, but for me, I was like, I had to be convinced. So then, I went out the next day, and I'm like a 2.5 handicap, but I went out the next day and I made 6 birdies in like 35-mile-an-hour wind too. 6 birdies and shot even. So it was awesome. At a tough course too. So it was really cool.
And I'll tell you what, Brendan has a lot of clubhead speed. You've got some speed there, man.
Yeah. And then the other thing that really helped too was I was containing my chipping stroke much shorter, and that just made it a lot more repeatable. So that helped a lot.
That helped? That makes me feel good, man, because that's all I can do anymore at my age is to try and help the rest of you guys play a little better.
Well, actually, hey, Bobby.
Hey, Adam!
Hey, hello, sir. I've been lurking. Yeah, actually.
Go ahead.
It's interesting to see Brendan on here because I actually discovered you, Bobby, via Brendan's YouTube channel.
Let me tell you something. I told Brendan, I said, Brendan, anything you want me to do, I will stand on my friggin' head upside down. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do. So when Brendan says jump, I say how high.
Yeah, he's responsible for getting me into this mess.
I'm telling you, Tony Stills and some of the other... And Brendan's done a great service in trying to bring, quality instruction from several different sources. And one might work for one person where the other one doesn't work for that one, works for another one, that kind of a thing. Brendan, tell them what you do. So for some of the guys on here that don't know who you are and don't know your channel.
Yeah, my channel is Be Better Golf. The quick tagline about it is I highlight unique voices in golf. And so basically I do interviews of different people that basically I watch YouTube all the time, just like you guys, golf tips. And if somebody really intrigues me, I'll try to set up an interview with them. And then so I do interviews with kind of known and unknown instructors, and I also vlog my own progress trying to get better. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And just on Monday, Bobby and I spent the whole day together, so you guys on the channel will see a chipping video, a full swing video, and then also Bobby and I played 9 holes together, and you'll see a playing vlog together. So a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be, it was fun. I can't wait to see the
the
edited version.
And what I'm calling the drive cast. When Bobby picked me up in Williamsburg and drove me out to near Richmond, and we filmed a conversation for the whole time. It was like an hour long. So you'll see that.
All right, wonderful.
I'll look out for it.
Any other questions from anybody for tonight?
Yeah, I got one actually.
Go ahead.
I do actually have one, and when we were talking about Gene's swing, and you were mentioning about his foot. That foot we're seeing right there.
Right.
That is like my holy grail. How do I do that? Because I thrust my hip and my heel comes up, because that's how I feel I get power. And how do I do that? How do I do that?
You just said the magic word. Here's the deal. I could show you this. Now watch. Here's Loverboy. Now, watch his right foot. See his right foot stay down?
Yep.
Butch Harmon worked on this with him extensively, with hitting 4-iron punch shots, trying to keep his right foot even more quiet, like I was nagging Gene about. See? I said roll it on the instep. Now, here's the magic word that you said. You said it's the only way I feel like I get any power.
Yeah.
And I bet Brendan can relate to this too, because the thing is, you feel like you need to throw your body at it. You feel like you need to tug, like you need to pull. No, that's not what they do. If you look at Sergio, here's Sergio downline, and he lets it just drop out of the sky. Watch. Do you see him tugging hard with his body? I don't see him tugging hard with his body. In fact, if anything, his body almost stops right there while he goes through the ball. See? And then it starts to turn again. So it can't be the body that creates this speed. What creates the speed is the angular acceleration. It's this. Boom. That's what causes the speed.
So you guys at your at the higher level these guys are,
right?
And you're saying that you're not pushing off with your right foot.
No, watch Sergio's right foot. Watch his right foot. Look at it.
So is it pushing towards the target, or is it just reacting?
No. Look. If anything, what we used to always talk about, and this is all the way back in the 70s. I know they talked about the same stuff now. Quiet knees, quiet feet, and feel like your lower body is in cement, or some guys would say in jello, or some guys would say in a swimming pool, and only from the waist up are you above the swimming pool where you could move. You feel like this is all real quiet. If you look at, I'll tell you, one of the best guys is Ernie Els. I mean, he's one of the best. If you look at Ernie Els and watch him swing right here, watch this. Well, you can't see that, can you? It stops. But here, watch. Look at Ernie Els. Lifts it up, drops it down. See? His body, if anything, is accommodating the path. See, look at his right foot. Look at his right foot. He's not pushing anything. Look at how he turns his hands over. Does that not look just like Gene Sowers? Look. See? The speed comes from right here. You ready? He pulls down. Here comes the speed. Ba-ba-boom. That's it right there. Right here, ba-ba-boom. Look at how quiet his feet are. Look at his right foot. Quiet feet. I'm telling you that when I'm giving golf lessons, they can send me a video of just that, and I can almost tell them what they're doing. Because...
Bobby, can you...
Go ahead. Well,
Bobby, change subjects a little bit. You
Hold
did a
that-
video
hold that
with
thought.
Brendan's nephew?
Hold that thought 1 second. 1 second. You see, and the reason being is because if I see their feet slipping and pulling out of the way and going crazy, then I know that their body is going in unbalanced positions and trying to do too much. The same way when you go to this video right here we had today, and if I can see this guy right here, where we were, there he is, there he is, there he is. Now, let's pretend that I would take him up like this, and I say, okay, that's all I can see right there. I can tell right now he's in trouble. Look where his knees went. Look what his knees are doing. Look at his feet. Look at his right foot. Look how the toe is pulled off. Then I can go over here to Ernie Els. Let me get this out of the way. And I can take a, come on. There you go. And I can look at him from just here. And I can see, look at how quiet his knees and his feet are. Look at how balanced he is. And if that is the real truth, then that means this machine right here is where it's at, because it doesn't move at all. The spine is fixed, the path is fixed, and it stays perfectly still. Imagine if somebody forgot to put the little brakes on these wheels or stuff, and then things started slipping around all over the place. It'd probably be as inconsistent as the rest of us. See? So I can look at this, the feet right there, and I can tell, as they said on that flight from Avian Airlines, something wrong. Watch, I can go. You never heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Something wrong. We too low. See? I can look at his feet. I have to see a swing look, and I can tell, holy cow, look at this. You want a good foundation, and you look at really good players, and they have, now watch, I'm going to show you one more right here. Where'd he go? Hello, there he is. Watch this. Watch this. All right, now somebody try and convince me that it's all his lower body turning and everything that's making all this speed. That's Aaron Badley. Look at that. Hardly moving.
What about Jack Nicklaus?
Ah, okay. Let's go to Jack Nicklaus. Let me tell you what really opened my eyes to a lot of this. This guy right here. Now watch this. Not a lot of movement. In fact, they did this interview with Jack Nicklaus. I've got it in my garage, or I think it's on the website somewhere. I got so much stuff on there. I've just piled it on over the years that they did an interview with him, and it was one of these "this is your life" kind of thing. You know, it was about 15 years ago or something. And they said, "Do you attribute your success to your tremendous leg drive?" It was in Golf Digest or something like that. And he said, you know, I've heard that all my life. I've heard all my career. I've heard people talk about my leg drive, my legs. He has huge legs. They're humongous. In fact, one of his nicknames on tour a long time ago among the guys was Stovepipes. And he said, I always said that about my legs. I said, but I never really felt like I used my legs. He said, in fact, if anything, my big base in my legs and the strength of my legs gave me a better base from which to swing my arms faster. And he said, my real key was I wanted to get the club to the ball before the buttons in my shirt got there.
You know, what you've just shown there, this really puts paid to that whole, you know, the whole squat, as in we're going to get power by the squat and we're going to get it from the ground, because he's still on his toes. He's still on his left toe.
There's all kinds of, and I bet you Brendan has probably seen them all. Brendan has talked to so many different golf pros. He knows more of these swing theories that are out there than I do, by far. And Brendan, maybe you can chime in and say, you know, how many different theories have you heard of somebody saying this is the way to swing a golf club?
Well, at least a dozen. But the thing that's really popular in California right now, I call it the California swing, is the idea that you in the transition you squat down really low with the legs and you let the upper body trail a lot, and you get it as rotational as possible, and then you try to jump up. Like once the club gets back down to parallel, you try to do a jumping motion with the legs and really let the upper body be passive. And this is something that a lot of young junior golfers and a lot of pros here in California are teaching now. It's becoming really popular, but I think it's really disconnected from the thing that I think actually creates the power, which is why I did that thing that you were in, Bobby, the source of power. The 4 teachers who were in the source of power all agreed that by and large, the most amount of power really comes from your upper body. It's the thing that's holding the club, and it's just really the thing that really puts the actual power into it. Everything else is just it's just aesthetics. But your upper body, like I really like what Nicklaus had said in that interview. He said, whereas he had the super strong legs, but the super strong legs in kind of like an Angel Cabrera kind of way with his legs, it just it lets his upper body have the total freedom to be able to hit it super hard with control. Like Angel Cabrera's teacher said, you don't want to fire a cannon off of ice skates.
Right, yeah. In fact, I'll tell you one thing we had, it was right there in Virginia Beach. It was another guy that was a Marine, like your 2 brothers. And you got to love these Marines, I was showing him this, and I was trying to get him to get his lower body quiet. And he says, I get you, Lopez. I know what you mean. If you're doing a drive-by shooting and you're in the back of a Humvee, you don't want to be on a bumpy road. You want to be in a smooth road. You'll hit your target a lot better. I said, there you go. You got it. You need a foundation to swing from. And I think you swing against the lower body. The lower body doesn't catapult the upper body.
Ooh, that's interesting. So what you're saying, what I'm getting from you and Brendan, it seems like but the lower body is really just reacting as opposed to driving.
Right.
The swing.
It's holding the base and holding the centrifugal force that's being created by the upper body on path. Because when you start moving your butt around too much in your hips and your feet, you this, that, and the other, the whole thing gets out of whack. I mean, because if you look at Gene Sowers right here, now look, this guy is what, 5'8", let's say. And Pat was telling me today on one of the par 4s they have at the tournament, he's playing a practice round. It's a 300-yard par 4. He drove the green. He's not that big a guy. Where's the speed coming from? He's certainly not doing it with his legs. His hips aren't like turning violently. Where is it happening? Part of it is efficiency of impact, which is right here, that he has a huge amount of sort of like we might want to call shaft lean. See, this back of his left hand is so solid through impact. See? Look, his hips aren't doing anything. They're following. Now, Paul, you were saying something. I interrupted you. What did?
I saw a video when you were with Brendan and you were instructing Brendan's nephew and you used the term getting heavy. Can you talk about that?
Yes. 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 Watch. See how he gets heavy? Like he goes down towards the ground? That's McElroy. Now watch this guy. He's going to get light. See? He pulls right up and out of the shot and almost like he's getting kicked in the pants. It was Bob Toski that told me, see, look, he just got kicked in the pants. And he got light. Let me see if I find another one that'll look like that down line that'll turn light. They get light, good players get heavy in that they rotate down and through the ball, and they maintain the spine angle and drive the right shoulder through. They don't jump out of their pants. Maybe another one here I can show you, but I mean, I get it all the time, more than anything. I mean, you look right here. Here's Perky, and you'll see right cheek on the line, left cheek on the line. He doesn't get light. He doesn't get real heavy either, but he doesn't get light. Getting light.
Hey, Bobby, I thought of a funny story from yesterday I think you'd appreciate. So he played the Pro-Am. It was like a 5-hour Pro-Am. We ate lunch, and then we headed over to the TPC tournament course because we played a Fazio course. And so G wanted to hit some wedges, and he was doing a punch drill. I don't know if it's one that you gave him or he just picked up somewhere else, but he was talking about, you know, his feet work, and basically it was that same kind of wedge shot that you were showing a minute ago. And he said, I think I want to go putt. And I said, okay, well, as soon as you hit that pin, you can go putt, you know, like I was his coach or something. The first one was like 6 inches from the pin. The second time he hit the chip shot, he hit the flag.
Well, this guy doesn't really jump out of his, but look how shallow he takes it back.
Yeah, Bobby, when we were talking, you said something about how there's a relation between taking the backswing too low and around and getting light.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, it can. Absolutely. Let me see if I get I wanted to get one that goes light here. Big time. Yeah, you see right here, now watch, when he goes up, look how he lifts up, look how his knees straighten up. He's not really light, but he's nowhere near being heavy. See, if you look at, where's Rieger? See? I think a lot of that, what it looks like they're getting heavy, is basically saying they're able to maintain spine angle all the way through. They're not pulling up and out of the spine angle like you're seeing here. See, he gets light. He gets up and out of it in a hurry. Look how he stays down. Gabish. Any other questions, or we'll call it a night, or what?
Bobby, is there a drill on your site for the release that Gene has?
Brendan had a question here. Well, I'll do your question too. No, Pat is not Gene's caddy. Pat, you got here a little late. Pat is Gene's financial guru and management and everything. Financial advisor. Yeah, and caddy in the British Senior Open.
I caddied yesterday a little bit.
Did you really?
Yeah. But we were in cart, so I didn't have to carry the bag.
There you go. Okay, go. What was the question you had?
Bobby, is there a drill on your site for that release that Gene has? You're talking about you want the club being turned over.
Punch shot roll
Gene
drill.
gets a lot. What drill is it?
Punch shot roll drill.
Okay.
Hold on here. I'll take you right there. Take you right there. Let me see. Okay, hold on. So we go over here. We get out of here. We go to members. Come on. There we go. We go to special drills library. And top of the backswing drills. No, it's going to be a downswing drill. Downswing drill. The swoosh drill is a good one. But the punch shot roll drill, where the heck is it? Impact area, that's probably what it is. Impact drill, Johnson. No, the punch shot drill. Here it is. So there's the link. What is this? Oh, Vimeo. I don't want to do that. Leave me alone. Okay, there we go. So there it is. If you guys see that, well, just go to to the members only section, and you'll see it right there. Punch shot drill is for proper contact. And there's also a special report here, rolling your forearms. How and when to roll your forearms. This is a good one. Right there, you can download that too and print it out. All right, gang. Should we call it a night? We went over tonight. It was working.
Oh, yeah.
But,
You have a question from Brendan.
Brendan, good night. Thanks for coming by, Brendan. Appreciate it.
Good night, guys.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Brendan.
Nice to meet you.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, Bobby.
Thanks, Brendan. Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
My pleasure.
Thank you.